You're tuned in. Shaggy TV, where pressure talks and mistakes screen. From flag to flag, no filter clean. Truth in the call, uncut, unseen. If you live for speed, yeah, you already see. Race night hits harder on Shaggy TV.
Oh no, Maverick Seidel outside wall. Oh, trying to ruin my camera, DJ. You promised me to be safe. Beating and banging him.
No polish here, no pretty disguise. Just rubber, steel, and truth in real time. When the moment hits, the signal's free. World tuned in, it's Shaggy TV.
Prevailed and takes home the checkers here at Knoxville Raceway.
Checker flag is out for Spangler as he comes across the line here.
The 217 coming off of 4. It'll be hit.
Coming there on 3 and 4. Salas gets win number 2 of the night.
Randy Shreves from 19th to victory.
The cars 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win. It's going to be Shreves getting the win.
He sees the checkered flag win. Give it to William Watson.
Yo, yo, yo. Tune in. Don't miss Shaggy TV, hit him with the twist. Gang on deck, let's pick up the pace. Remote in hand, it's a cartoon race. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Flip the channel, hit the screen. Velma's got the clues, keep it clean. Fred in the whip, Daphne looking mean. Shaggy on the snacks, munching every scene. Zoinks, got ghosts in the room. Monsters lurk, smell the cartoon fumes. Fog thicker than my uncle's perfume. Solve it quick, then straight to the tune. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Spooky vibes with the laugh on top. Masked villains every case non-stop. Trapdoor falls, but the plan don't flop. Through the laugh track, tick-tock, tick-tock.
We are live in Brazelton, Georgia at the Lanier National Speedway for a little Monday Night Madness. And as always, I should say, first up is a top-notch trucking 358 modifieds. And Lanier, we'll have to see. You got 21 guys. Not a lot of room for those boys and girls to play amongst one another here, but they're gonna have to make it work. And look at Jeff Parker. Him being the 21st driver, he's in here all by himself. Look at the 513. All alone. Just putting around the bottom, seeing what's going on, checking to see if, he can find his His old lady out in the stands. We have brought one of the cats tonight. Nope, he had enough. He's gonna pull in. Got Mason Hine in the 89. Rolling around in front of Harold Klump. Harold Klump pulls to the inside, and now Mike Stryker rolls around the outside. Yeah, I noticed I had my volume turned a little down. My apologies. Cars should be a little louder now. I realize how quiet that was. Let's see if I can get some more on the racetrack over here. Nope, just more single file. They don't want to give me that crank it up volume. Let's see. Yeah, those ones get a little up there. Sammy rolling that inside, and shame on me here. You guys have seen me do it before. I don't have much shame. But when it goes back to that camera that we just saw, I am going to... Or actually, I'll take it into my own hands here. Just in case it doesn't, but we need to change that. I don't know why I have the zoomed-in camera that low on the inside. I went through this when I was hanging out with the Ant-Man, and I could have swore I got all of them. It's this one. We do not want that thing zoomed in like that. And actually, let's move it around. Let's see if we can give it a little better here. Up top on the pit box. See what that would look like. Then it's not low. Alright, not terrible. Not terrible. We'll work with that for now. A lot better than the zoomed in nonsense we had going on. So like this one I like. The inside wall, I dig that. It doesn't zoom in too much. It's the zoom that's really, obviously nitpicking here, but gotta have them how you like them. You gotta feel comfortable up here. As Thomason goes out for one last effort. We should see the session roll over here anytime. We just hit 7 o'clock. Thomason going to get one last feel for how the track feels. We roll into qualifying, but like I say, any moment now that checkered flag is going to wave and warm-ups will come to a close, and we'll see who indeed will be the first driver out on the racetrack for your top-notch trucking 358 modifieds. It was announced. How's it going, Ron? It was announced out on the page, so spread the word. As long as you're in the league somehow, you've got a tie to a member already in the Coast to Coast Racing League, whether you're a mother, a wife. I don't know if we're going to extend it as far as sister. I wouldn't see why not, but we're going to run a Powder Puff race, week 13 of the iRacing Series. I think that's the second week in March, maybe first week in March. Don't hold me to that, but women's only race being broadcasted by none other than me. My wife is going to go to my dad's house and run on my dad's simulator to go ahead and give this a shot. So that should be a lot of fun, and I know a lot of us are looking forward to that. So make sure you put pressure on your significant other and or relative, to get you in there. I mean, heck, get you in there if your aunt or grandma. Go ahead, give it a try. It's all for fun. What it's all about here at Coast to Coast. And Harold Klump about to have some fun here as he takes the green flag for lap number 1. I side through 1 and 2. Right back to the window. He's going to run the middle a little bit on entry, then slides up, grabs the cushion. Harold Klump, 1 lap in the books. What's it going to be? 14:49 for Harold Klump. Mike Stryker took it over, but not for long because Isaac Salas took the top spot with a 14.22. His striker rolls off a 4 for the final time. He's not going to improve. Salas not going to improve either. So far, doesn't need to. Jeff Barker, though, P2. The Brewerton Beast finds some speed. Sam Bachman crosses the line for the final time. He stays P4. Brandon Dittmer, lap 1 in the books. P7 so far here for the Spider Monkey. Brandon Dittmer slings it down low. What's it going to look like at the line? Green, yellow. It's quicker. Up to P6 for Dittmer. The Philly Flyer crosses the line for the final time. He stays P4 in the 075 is Clay Christopherson. 1 lap in the books. P5. Can Putt take that 51 machine? Climb the ladder a little bit. Yellow. Not going to be this time. Going to stay P5, and 21 out of our 22 drivers have put in a qualifying time. Kurt Schatzer, I believe, joined up, right as we were rolling into the session. So Kurt may not have time to go out and qualify. But he will make the A main tonight. Everybody gonna make the A main tonight. And we'll see Kurt. Right here, right now. Why? What is going on with this leaderboard here? Let's see if I do this. Are we gonna get a grid? No, it says it's empty. What is happening? Okay, so we are going to try to refresh here. I have never, ever, you guys have seen me reload this overlay so many times. I don't know, truthfully, what is going on here. I have never seen this happen. Have it. Got everything clicked over. Okay, we are going to have to close this down. Reload this up. And we will hope that when we reload these overlays, everything is fixed. But it is indeed not fixed. Okay, now, we don't panic yet here, but, we think about panicking. We do. There's a quick little panic, session, wave going through the body here. Let's see if I can't get it up to come up on my screen. Yeah, and it is staying blank. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, pardon my French here. Oh, Jesus. All right. I have that's unbelievable, and that's something SDK better fix here. Row 4 to the outside to 218 of Kurt Schatzer, to the inside the 8 of Scott Thomason. Row 3 to the outside to 35 of Harold Klump, to the inside to 73 of Larry Moody. Row 2 to the top shelf to 5 of Isaac Salas, to the inside the 075 of the Philly Flyer Trevor Giroux. And row 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside the 83 of the Spider Monkey. And starting on the pole, the 26 of Mavericks Idell. Yeah, I have no idea why that is happening, but sorry about that. Hopefully it doesn't happen in heat race number 2 as we look to the Georgia sky. The green flag is high. Let's watch some dirt fly. Heat race number 1 is underway. Seidel on the bottom, tippy-toeing down there in the basement. Dittmer trying to lasso. That horse is on the outside. What can he do? He's got him rolling. Does he have enough charge here to get the run? Remember, they're teammates. Maverick should give him plenty of room and is. Meanwhile, Isaac trying to barge his way in there. Thought about making it 3 wide. Here comes your quick time in that 5 machine. Dittmer on the top side. Isaac working, trying to get around Trevor Giroux. Trevor on the bottom, playing nice here, being complacent for the time being. But Brandon Dittmer, he is your new leader at the line. The Spider Monkey leads the way. 5 laps left to play. Salas tries to open it up here on the outside. Salsa, here he comes. 3 wide just for a moment. Dittmer clear. Salas not backing down. Here we go. It is a 1, 2, 3 Venom Motorsports show in heat race number 1. 3 wide for the lead. Dittmer hangs on. Maverick, trying to play nice downstairs. He's got to get out of it. Isaac throws the slide job. No, Dittmer hangs on. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Salas leaves him room here, but boy, oh boy, does he throw the dagger this time? No, yes. Slide job comes up the racetrack. Dittmer to the bottom. The Spider Monkey putting on moves as the white flag waves. 1 lap left to play. Isaac looking to protect here, puts it in the middle. Dittmer can't go low enough. And Isaac Salas, 4th to 1st, wins heat race number 1. Dittmer, Giroux, Seidel, Klump, Thomason, Moody, and Schatzer rounds out heat race number 1. No shot are these not gonna work here until the cars start moving. That's crazy. All right, let's see something here. We may lose this, but I think it's better in the long run. We're going to need it for the A-main. I've got to try to do something here. As well, when I close that down, of course, now I don't have my camera button. So shame on me here. You guys know me better than that, but man, I don't know what is going on with this overlay. Now it's loading back up, coming back up for you guys. Need it to come back up for me. At least I'll have my buttons here and throw you up that grid here real quick. Vecchio, Vitali, Dan McLaren rounding out the back, the top 4. Barker, Christopherson, Molyneux, and Stryker on the pole. Here we go. Everything coming back to me now. Hopefully the grid works as the green flag waves. Heat race number 2 is underway. Almost 3 wide right away going into 1, but we're 3 wide coming out of 2. Putt-putt on the bottom, trying to tie his shoe. Seeing how low that 51 can go. Here we go, up to P2 at the line. Stryker in the middle. Bud barrel down on the outside, trying to burn it down. Putt-putt, slide job for the lead. Molyneux's got to get on the binders. Doesn't do it in time. Tightens up the race car. Loses 2. Now 3 spots as the battle for the lead is on. Mike Stryker to the point. The missile locked onto the lead, and he is out front. Putt-putt trying to work a little lower. Here's their side-by-side battalion. Barker behind. Clay to the bottom here. How low can he go? He's got the lead. Is he going to get it off of 2? Let's see. Not this time. As we click the wrong side. Here we go. We get to watch the side-by-side putt-putt. Can he pull Stryker? No. Stryker gets him to the line. Here we go. They almost touch. The run off of 2. Clay gets on the bottom, though, is where you want to be. Now, on the outside, off of 4. When he hits this, he's strong. Side by side, putt-putt's got it at the line. What we get until iRacing. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Yeah, because even if we empty it out, bring it back up like we reset it, it doesn't read anything. I'm anxious to see if anybody watching this thing, you know, you've been watching other people, if they've been having this problem, please kindly let me know. The starting grid for your third and final heat race here. For your top-notch trucking 358 modifieds, rounding out the field, the 41 of Pat Boyce. Row 3 to the outside, the 14 of Brennan Lacey to the inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Row 2 to the outside, the 099 of Billy Roberts to the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. And row 1 for heat race number 3 to the outside, the 32 of Anthony Morano. And starting on the pole, the 89 of Mason Hine. Yeah, no idea why it wants to, you know, make me work overtime tonight, but it's gonna, I guess. We'll have to deal with it. And yeah, I got the update from SDK. It had nothing to do with that, reading the patch notes. As you look to the Georgia sky, the green flag is high. Heat race number 3 is underway. Morano, Hine, side by side for the lead. Hine not able to have that full head of steam. Can he run Anthony up the hill? Stays down low. Anthony Morano leads the show. Hine fights back on the inside, though, pulling even. What can he do in that 89 machine as he works the inside? Morano still got it as we come to the line. Hine really quick, though, man. Channeling his inner Clay Christopherson there on the bottom of 1 and 2. Working it as hard as he can, but Morano's so good on the outside through 3 and 4 that he just eats it all right back. As Mason, here he goes, almost has him by a car length. Does he throw the slide job? No. Keeps the gloves on, plays nice, not going to do it twice. Shuts the door. Mason Hine leads the way. Sam Bachman getting a little impatient here. He's working the inside. Gotta get a spot. Billy Roberts tippy-toeing the top shelf. He's maybe caught upstairs at the wrong time. His outside seemed to be the place to be, but now cycled back to that inside like we expect here at the Lanier National Speedway, and we've got 2 laps to go. Sam underneath, taking that constant peak for third, but the white flag waves. Mason Hine has one more lap to play. Anthony Morano not close enough to sink his fangs in for one final sip. Through 3 and 4, checkered flag waves. Give it to Mason Hine. Anthony Morano, P2. Roberts, Bachman, Lacey, Reynolds, and Boyce rounds out your field. Stick around here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season. Thank you to our sponsors and partners.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A little over 30 seconds to play here before the boys line up for their first of 3 features here tonight at the Lanier National Speedway. 22 drivers, or 21 drivers, I believe, set to make the call. But let's get ready to take a look at tonight's feature starting lineup. Man, I was panicking there for a second, but it looks like that's only going to be a heat race problem. So let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. 22 drivers make the call. Rounding out the field, row 11 to the outside, the 218 of Kirk Schatzer to the inside, the 41 of Pat Boyce. Row 10 to the outside, the 883 of Bud Molyneux to the inside, the 73 of Larry Moody. Row 9 to the outside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds to the inside, the 147 of Michael Vecchio. Row 8 to the outside, the 8 of Scott Thomason to the inside, the 14 of Brennan Lacey. Row 7 to the outside, the 213 of Michael Vitale to the inside, the 35 of Harold Klump. Row 6 to the outside, the 007, the Sam Akonda, Sam Bachman to the inside, the 513 of Jeff Barker. Row 5 to the top shelf, the 26 of Maverick Seidel to the inside, the 099 of Billy Roberts. Row 4 to the outside, the 88 of Dan McLaren to the inside, the 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. Row 3 to the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano to the inside, the 015 of Mike Stryker. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer to the inside, the 89 of Mason Hine. And row 1 for tonight's top-notch trucking 358 modified A-main to the outside, the 051 of Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson, and starting on the pole, the 5 of Salsa, Slide Job, Isaac Salas, as the Steve King Foundation pace car rolls through 3 and 4. We look to the Georgia sky. The green flag is high. Let's watch some dirt fly. 30 laps to play. Here A-main is underway. Clay Christopherson rolls, falls in line. Meanwhile, 2 by 2 behind here. Front 2, they're playing nice. They get in line, but behind it is an all-out war. And boy, oh boy, gloves are off here. We're only on lap 2. 3 wide, Dan McLaren on the outside. He's got to get on the binders. Hole closed up real fast. 88, not going to like that, but he's racing smart. Going to live to play another day. And boy, oh boy, was just shuffled to the outside. 3 wide again, but they figure it out behind. That's the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux, looking to see what he can do. Dan McLaren, he has a hiccup to the outside. Soupy, gotta get back on it, gets in line. Almost 4 wide, Barker on the bottom. Here we go. Brewerton Beast making a move on the inside. We ride on board with Jeff Barker. You see Sam Bachman just get that launch. Jeff, 2 loose coming off the bottom of 2 and just can't find that traction that he needs. Meanwhile, the Spider Monkey slinging webs on the high side, the 83. Here he comes, Brandon Dittmer, like a bat out of hell. This 83 is turning and burning. Gotta go where they're not. Everybody else on the bottom. Dittmer gonna roll this purple speckled paint to the outside. Beats him to the line. You can see he's making up time, but he just can't get the nose to the outside of Clay Christopherson, and that's what he needs to do. Dan McLaren once again still battling. Remember, he got shuffled out of line. Fell behind his teammate there. Maverick Seidel has not been able to get around him since. Just has been kind of just hunkered down, content right now for the time being. And laps just continue to click away. Mason works back around Brandon Dittmer. Dittmer almost edges him going into the corner, but now Mason's got him to the point where the race is to the middle of the straightaway. You know, that's where the start-finish line is, and Mason right now winning that battle. In fact, Brandon Dittmer, he says crisscross applesauce, slide job, feeds him a right rear. Anthony Morano may be hungry for a little scraps. Dittmer going to do it one more time. Mason Hines says, monkey see, monkey do. Anything you can do, I can do better. And I'm telling you, Dittmer better be ready. Oh, Mason plays nicer than I would have. Kept it on the inside, and we continue. Yellow flag waves for the first time. Scott Thomason goes around here at the Lanier National Speedway. See what happened to the 8. Ooh, just clips that wall opening there. You could see him. I couldn't tell. It looked like, you know, he thinks he's gonna clip the wall, so you can see here real quick the wheels are cranked there to the inside. Then once it drags around, there he does it again, but he's hooked up, and there's just nothing you can see. Had a magnet on it. Did a little magic trick, disappear, came back. Leaders were coming though. Caution flags got a wave, and for the first time tonight, the drivers get to catch their breath here. Think about what they can do different. Putt-putt, going to go up to the outside. Maybe pass that love letter to Isaac that he's been holding on to. Hasn't been able to get up there and give it to him. So, you know, it's not like you don't want to go home with that if his wife finds that. Okay, Ron, yeah, I appreciate that, because, yeah, I did a, what do you call it? Well, I mean, I did shows all weekend. I never had that problem. If it's only for the heat races, we'll live with it. It's not going to kill me, because we can read those off quick. But, man, that A-main, that would have been difficult. As the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off, you look to that Georgia sky. The green flag is high. Let's watch the dirt fly. We're back underway. 16 laps to play. The Spider Monkey takes advantage of that restart. Nice little team countdown there. Good job. But he watches it all go away. Caution flag waves one more time, and may have a couple drivers involved in this one. So I am going to, for the initial, we're going to stay in this view because, yeah, I already see drivers involved that are way ahead of him. So let's see if I can find what happened. Oh, I think we just caught it there. Get run over. So Dan McLaren, it looks like pretty close to, is that Michael Vitale in the 213? It is. So he just gets on the binders. Dino then doesn't get the memo in time. He gets on the binders. And then the boys behind him, they really don't get the memo here. Big pile up. Lots of cars going to be involved in this one. And what do they say? Cautions breed cautions. That's what you see. We're back under caution for the second time. And I guess Dittmer did get that good of a restart that he beat play to the line. So he's on the outside this time. And that's probably music to Putt-Putt's ears, to be honest with you. As you see, the green flag is high. Let's watch the dirt fly. We're back underway for the third time here in the A-Main. Putt-Putt, he takes advantage this time. Back to P2. Look what I can do, he says. Dittmer, though, swings back on the bottom. Full Monty on the inside. Contact behind. Oh, we got one going around. Billy Roberts. Red Rover, we've got one over. Oh! lands it! He lands it, even the Russian holding up a 10. Unbelievable there, Billy Roberts. And the funniest thing about all of this is Billy Roberts not mentioned is one time being a, possible caution on the SDK overlay. And, well, we'll see. It stems. You can just see it. There we go. I mean, you saw it play out. You're going to see, I can't tell what number that is, but going to get into the 007. Okay, let's start this up. Going to get into the 007 on the bottom of your screen. And here we go. Stack up. 99. He doesn't get the memo in time. He gets a piece. Then he's going to get run over. And this is just, it happens so fast. And he bounces around. Didn't know Seidel was up there. Comes back down, then gets absolutely destroyed there by Moody. Up and over. Bunch of times. I mean, that's 5 or 6 rolls there. Caution flag waves yet again here for the 3rd time. Its drivers now told, hey, we don't get a lap in. We're single file for the rest of the way here. So we should have 13 to go. And 3 cautions. This is our limit. Is the green flag waves. We are back underway. Sam Bachman, your biggest mover. April Fool's Bud Molyneux up 9 spots. Started 20th, up to 11th. Bud on the move here. Shame on me for skipping you there, Bud. Bachman up 6 spots, close to the front, though. You know what that means. The closer you get to the front, the harder it is to get the job done. He's got a teammate in front of him. This may not be a lot of fun. Isaac Salas continues to lead the way out front by a country mile here at the Lanier Speedway. Almost a full second. Can't get much better than that on dirt. We got a battle for 3rd, though. Dittmer trying to hang on to his britches here. The 89 trying to cut him low. Mason high. Can he find any grip downstairs? Gets on the slip and slide coming off of 4. Dittmer chooses to leave the door open. Even though there's a draft down there, he should slam it shut. Dittmer content. There we go. Gets a little lower that time. Still likes the middle. Dittmer. Right now, everybody, it seems like, likes the middle. I mean, choo-choo. It's a train here around the Lanier National Speedway. Because let's sit at the line. See it for yourself. Single file all the way around this place. Superman, it finally ends that. Oh, yeah, I thought we were going to get double file there for the first time, but no, you can see as we come to 6 laps to go, it's a single file show here, and Isaac Salas way out front. Mason Hine holding off Anthony Morano. Remember, he was working on Dittmer a couple laps ago, but see, if you get bound up too much on the bottom, how much momentum you can lose. And even if you're faster than the guy in front of you, it doesn't necessarily mean a thing. There's 4 laps to go for this man, Isaac Salas. Bud Molyneux trying to work under Dan McLaren, can't get to him. And he is running out of chances to swing the hammer here. 3 laps to go. Clay Christopherson starting to feel some heat from Brandon Dittmer, but only 2 laps left to play. Dittmer gonna all but need a miracle here to get around that 51 in a lap and a half as Isaac Salas comes to the line. White flag waves, 1 lap to play. Salsa absolutely destroying here tonight. Started up front, gonna finish there. Final time through 3 and 4. Open up the can. Salsa gets another checkered flag at the Lanier National Speedway. Clay Christopherson, P2, and Brandon Dittmer puts another Venom Motorsports machine on the podium. A 1 and a 3 there for Venom Motorsports. Take a look at our full race results. We think. Now we know. Mason Hine 4th, Anthony Morano 5th, Sam Bachman 6th, Giroux 7th, Mike Stryker 8th, Vitale 9th, and McLaren rounds out the top 10. The rest of your field: Molyneux, Reynolds, Schatzer, Klump, Seidel, Vecchio, Moody, Boyce, Barker, Roberts, Thomason, and Lacey never made the call. We might as well. I mean, they raced green flag so long in the beginning. I mean, it would almost be foolish not to use the long green flag run in the beginning here for these wonderful interviews. Let's see if we can get a word here with our third place driver of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Let me unmute myself before I pull him up here.
It's so thick you can sit on it.
Oh, I love that. I forgot about that. I don't mean to rub it in, Brandon, but it's been a while, man. I forgot that was going to happen. It's good to have you back up here, man. You had to work for this one. I mean, arguably, at some point, maybe the second fastest car, but, that restart on the bottom, so important, as you found out getting by him originally. But, man, it just seemed like a one-lane racetrack. Whether or not you were quick, it was tough to pass. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, Lanier is one of those tracks where it just unfortunately just goes to one lane, and with the 358, it's the bottom. At least early on, there's a 2-lane. I could at least keep up on the outside, but that went away about, 10 laps in or so. Luckily, I got a caution around lap 14 that kept me in third. Otherwise, I would have had a much bigger handful on myself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, is there anything really you can do? I mean, I don't want to, get you into trouble here, saying like, hey, I got to wreck Clay. But, I mean, we saw, who was that? Mason try to work the bottom on you there. And, you could kind of protect in the middle. Was there anything up there, to risk it going up higher? Did you basically have to, you were going to have to use the nose if you wanted to get around him?
Yeah, it was going to have to be the nose if you wanted to do anything at all. And I was sitting there contemplating my choices as either go where he isn't, which unfortunately I was going to lose a spot to Mason Hine, which I knew that immediately, or just turn him. And that's not how I want to do things.
No, definitely not. And yeah, it's, it is one of those things that it's good to hear you mention that, because that's something I missed. I mean, you got to focus on that guy behind you to make sure, if you got a gap, it's one thing, go for it. But when he's riding right on you, closing that relative, you're kind of suckered in. You just got to stay in line. And at the end of the day, the first and the third there for Venom Motorsport or Venom Racing, not too bad, man. So hell of a job there, Brandon. Congrats on the P3. Who you want to thank?
Oh, you for the broadcast, everybody behind the scenes for Coast to Coast, making this stuff run smoothly. Venom Racing, all the boys over there. I think we had a pretty good night tonight, which is a good step in the right direction for us. JRB Designs does a great job with the wraps. Sponsors that make this broadcast happen and make the racing happen all together. And then Clay and Mason for the good racing up there. And then Isaac just walking away with this one as he usually does in these things.
Yeah, and shame on me till you started listing your teammates there, Brandon. I didn't even think about it. I need to rewind before I kick you out real quick. How stressful is that heat race? All you guys, I mean, the Venom Racing heat race, that had to be stressful, right? Going 3 wide with teammates?
Yeah, it is, especially since we have a history of taking each other out for whatever reason. Yeah, it was very stressful, and then having Trevor thrown into that mix, knowing that he's a threat anytime he jumps into a 358, it's just a little stressful, but we got through it luckily.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun to watch. I'll have to remember to ask Isaac about that one. But hell of a job, Brandon. Congrats on the podium. Hopefully I'm talking to you again here after the sprints, brother.
Sounds good. Thanks, Shaggy.
Spider Monkey bringing home P2 or P3. Now we get to talk to the man who brought home P2. Clay Christopherson. Clay, it seemed like maybe finished right where you should. I mean, you and Brandon, similar pace cars, and whether he was in front, whether you were in front. But, man, that guy out in front, he just had something everybody else didn't. What did we need to go run him down?
Different track. that was, I mean, even towards the end there, me and Isaac were running the exact same times. I couldn't gain anything from him, and I kind of experimented, bottom, cut down. I was trying to find anything, and then I got to the second mark, and I'm like, well, I'll just stay here, I guess, and I did exactly that. It was not a very exciting race in second place tonight.
Now, when, cautions didn't come often, but when they did, man, they were in bunches there. Lots of cautions. I think 3 basically in a row. And I would say, the second one maybe benefited you there a little bit. The first.
I read it pretty good when I got behind Isaac. I read that. That was a guess.
Yeah. Now, obviously Dittmer did that to you. That's what I was trying to get to. That first caution,
That's why I kind of did. I was like, I have to get this back because I need that position.
Okay. All right. Good. That's what I wanted to know. I was going to say, was that out of desperation? Because obviously I mentioned you guys being similar pace. I mean, it's like you had to get him on the
line. I needed that line. Otherwise, it would have been the same thing, just me in third.
Well, hey, Clay. Hell of a job, man. Congrats on bringing home the P2. And I noticed here in the Zoom camera, dude, thank you for slapping my logo on there on the inside. I appreciate that. It looks snazzy in that red and white. I dig that thing. But congrats on the P2, man. Who you want to thank?
You guys for putting this on. All the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block sets.
Well, hey, are you going to call it quits or are you going to maybe run some sprints later?
Not sure yet. I'm debating still.
All right, well, take it easy, Clay. Good run.
Thank you, sir.
P2 for putt-putt. And now we bring up your winner, the man who, dude, I mean, Jesus, Isaac. I'm running out of things to say about you just leading every lap. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, man. You're using up everything I got, and we're only a couple weeks into the season. I mean, this has been dominance. You put this 5-car up front, and I don't know what it is, man. It's just no mistakes out of you. Nobody can get around you. How have you been so smooth, man? Not just tonight, but all year.
First off, Clay passed me last week. But no, I mean, a lot of it's come down to just trying to tweak in some different settings into the car and, get it a little bit tighter. I mean, and then obviously just have a good, clean race. That's kind of the goal at this point. I tried to maximize the night once I got quick time, and I didn't use up my teammates, but I definitely made it hard for them to have a good run in the heat race. But yeah, after that, I mean, just kind of try to just be as smooth, consistent, went down a gear normal than I probably would have usually went, and just try to be as perfect as I could be, to be honest with you. And yeah, I feel like I ran a pretty good race, man.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about it before I could bring it up there, but I asked Dittmer about it, a little bit, how much fun that was. And, I mean, you did. You said it probably better than I could have said it. I mean, you used them up in a way without using them up. You had to put them in tough positions, make the moves you did. But, when you go out there and you qualify quick time and starting fourth, I mean, that's what you got to do, right? If you finish third in that heat race, I may not be talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's linear. It's a hard, it's just a hard place to pass, really, and especially with the rubber taken on that bottom line there. I mean, it was kind of the place to be, if I'm being honest with you. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I think a lot of my work I got done in my heat race, and a lot of the hard work, I should say, I got done in my heat race. And so just tried to, keep running a good race from there on out once I knew I was in a good spot. So yeah, just happy to be talking to you, to be honest with you.
Well, hey man, I am happy to be talking to you as well. And I know, similar, but obviously they have their different characteristics. You in that 358 dirt car show is going to be a lot of fun.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, just scratch the old one off, that big block. This 358 one coming up. This That may be your playground, man. This has been a lot of fun to watch you go out here and beat up on these guys. Congratulations, brother, and hopefully I'm talking to you after the sprints.
Yeah, I appreciate it, buddy. Just want to give a big shout out to everyone over at Venom Racing. It was fun to see everybody qualify pretty good tonight, and a couple bad luck, obviously, but it was pretty fun to see everybody start running pretty good. Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, Maiden Race Designs, JRB Designs for that beautiful scheme, RSN Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Trucking with my Gramps, Shaggy TV with you, sir. It was a lot of fun to watch the Dirt Car Esports event. Wish I was in it, but I don't know how to drive. Reed's Home Inspections, Coast to Coast. Thanks to Mom, Dad, Gramps, Miss Kelser. And other than that, hope you have a good night if I don't talk to you again.
Speaking of Miss Kelser, though, are there any plans? You know what I'm referring to. You going to get her in this thing?
I'm trying to talk her into it right now. She's currently on the fence. She doesn't want to make any enemies of any of the other wives or girlfriends. And I said, what's the worst that can happen? It's fine. It's we're
not like they're
expecting
racing
to win,
for $500. No, it's
we could put that up if we wanted.
That'd be crazy.
At least like 100 or something to the winner. Wouldn't that be kind of fun?
I don't know, man.
I'll see what I got up my sleeve, but I think I might try to talk Miss Kelser into it and then put a sponsorship up. I think that'd be kind of fun.
All right, now we're talking. I mean, I'll throw a little bit at it. Just let me know when and where.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Yeah, Top Notch and Shaggy TV, maybe a little like 50-50. I don't know. We'll get into it, but yeah, I'm going to try to convince her. I think it'll be a whole lot of fun if we can do it. So.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Maybe we got something in the making there, but hey, hopefully I'm talking to you here after the sprints. Good luck, brother.
Awesome. Thanks, Shaggy. Have a good one.
Isaac Salas brings home the win, and hey, now maybe we got a little prize money going into that powder puff race. We'll have to see. But stick around here on Shaggy TV. We got 2 more races coming up. Your Rebel Sprint Cars next. And last but not least, your Renegade Sprint Cars coming up last. So plenty of racing left here. Stick around on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Right when we were talking about it.
Oh, we are back live, but of course, I got excited because, well, I got some news for you. Let me reset that overlay so it's not double stacked with last race's information. Shame on me. But, this just in. I don't know what Isaac is gonna, what sponsor will throw on the other half, but hey, Shaggy TV and, for now we'll say Top Notch Trucking, the sponsor that I'm supposed to take away right now, that just sponsored the 358s. But we're going to throw in $50 apiece. So I have a $100 prize pool, $50 to the winner. So basically, if I want to get my money back, I got to tell my wife she's got to win. I mean, pressure is on for my wife. She's got to go out and bring home the bacon. Else we're leaving, in the negative. Same with Isaac. Boy, we put the pressure on our old ladies. We may have to, and there's no way they can finish first, second, and third. So Isaac and I recuperate our money. So we'll have to try to scheme up something somehow. I believe Dino going to throw in a little. Oh, wait, yeah. What I was saying is 50 to the winner, 30 for second, 20 for third. And I believe Dino going to throw something in maybe for a hard charger, a best appearing car, or something like that. We'll figure it out. Who knows? Green flag waves for the 8 of Scott Thomason. Well, I want to stay in TV3 here for the first guy at least, so we have a comparison lap. So he's going to barrel down on the outside. What that tells me, he maybe doesn't like it. Yeah, now Scott goes to the bottom, so he just wanted to wind up the toy on the outside. Let's stick with lap number 2. So Scott rolling the inside. Let's see as he comes across the line. Thomason was P1, but boy, oh boy, not for long. Jesse Bandy hauling the mail in this 49 machine with an 11.66. Here we go. Fastest guy in the show. Does he get quicker? Does not. Doesn't need to. JKJ Klimowicz Jr. comes across the line, P3 for his final lap. Chris Lloyd comes across the stripe, final time, P12 for Chris Lloyd. I don't believe, let's see here, this lap, it's slower anyway, yellow, but wouldn't have counted, I don't think. I think it was just an extra lap. Dan McLaren coming across the line for the final time, yellow, that's not going to improve. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if Anthony is supposed to be in the Rebels or not. I can't ever remember. But Anthony Morano, the only driver out of the 15 to not put in a time if he is driving in this tonight. Either way here, let's see. All right, so I figured out the hack. I have to click on one of the drivers. All right, that made it appear. Okay, so that's different. I have to click on a driver first. So I'll have to tell Adam that if he's struggling, or if one of you guys comment on it. But yeah, driver in the session in a heat race, click on it, then it pops up. So Chris Lloyd going to round out the field. Only 2 heat races here, actually. Yeah, okay, only 2 heat races. So Chris Lloyd will round out the field inside of row 4, row 3 to the outside, the 62 of Aaron Huffaker to the inside, the 8 of Scott Thomason. Row 2 to the outside, the 49 of Jesse Bandy. Your quick time to the inside, the 034, John Klimowicz Jr. And row 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside, the 75 of the Mayor Steve Bixler. And starting on the pole, the 88 of Dan McLaren. FTM Rebel Sprint Car heat race number 1 about to be underway. Oh, Uncle Ron, you want to chip in too? Jeez. Well, just you let whoever know, and I'm telling you, Ron, if you're married, I don't know what Devin's plans are here, or no. Why do I always? Yeah, Ron, help me out again. Are you Devin's uncle? I always forget. I know you're over there at FTM. I swear to God. I always get Devin and, who's the other one? As the green flag is high, we take a look to the Georgia sky. Heat race number 1 is underway. Sorry there, but yeah, man, I always forget. Here we go. JKJ on the inside. He comes up, slides himself in line. Top 4 not really going to matter here, though. Normally that's the story. You know, you want to make sure in the top 4 make it to the A main, but everybody making it to the A main. And right now, Dan McLaren going to do his best to talk to me here, leading the way. Heat race number 1, if he can hold on. Going to start P1 here for our 30-lap feature. Andy feeling some pressure there from Klimowicz. What does he do? JKJ close, but is he close enough? No, not this time. Junior hunkered down on that outside, pedal to the metal. You can see he gets a big run off the corner, but he's not close enough to throw that slide job just yet as he's running out of time. 2 sticks in the air, 2 laps to go as Dan McLaren continues his dominance. Dan throws it on the outside off the 4. White flag waves, 1 lap to play for the Venom Racing 88 machine of Dan McLaren, who goes to the bottom this time. Why not? Make sure, protect, sees the checkered flag wave, and wins. Heat race number 1, Bixler P2, Bandy, Klimowicz, Thomason, Huffaker, and Lloyd. Okay, so let's see. I need a driver to join. Jack was kind enough to join, and now it should work. It indeed does. Rounding out the field, the 147 of Michael Vecchio. Row 3 to the outside, the 41 of the Librarian. Pat Boyce to the inside, the 26 of Maverick Seidel. Almost said the 56 because he's starting 5th. Row 2 to the outside, the 89 of Mason Hine to the inside, the 69 of JK3 John Klimowicz the 3rd. Oh boy, got my first 2 throat appointments tomorrow, the second one being Wednesday the next day, so hopefully they can do some work on that. Sorry about choking there. Row 1 for the second and final heat race to the outside, the 078 of Jack Clevenger, and starting on the pole, the 55 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. Brewer. Okay, Mike Brewer. See, what throws me out, though, Ron, is the H at the end of your name. So their other teammate, Devin Hauer. So I always want to think Ron Hauer when I see that H. That's on me. That's what throws me off there. But blame the FTM boys. As we take a look to that Georgia sky, the green flag is high. FTM heat race number 2 is underway. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Jack Clevenger coming in, trying to run it full bore on the outside. He leads lap number 1. JK3 on the outside as well. He's trying to reel in that 55 who was blinking. That's Brian Moore Sr. Moore now gets shuffled back into the leaderboard where he should be P2. Seidel continues to work that middle inside. He's got one guy below him. Mason Hine trying to deliver the news, but Seidel and Klimowicz, they touch, they go up and over. Big wreck here at Lanier. We'll watch this full speed and then we'll go back live. We'll see if we can diagnose what happened here. Looked to be maybe a little netcode or maybe Maverick came up, but either way, welcome to the back of the show here. And, well, now it doesn't want to go live, so shame on that. We're going to have to reset SDK. We've got 2 laps to go. Jack Clevenger trying to continue his dominance here. I mean, what a war it's going to be if it comes down to Dan McLaren and Jack Clevenger, two guys who just literally walked away. We've got a battle, though, for second. Mason Hine throws it in deep. Slide job for P2 as Jack Clevenger rolls the tippy top, sees the checkered flag wave. He wins heat race number 2, followed by Hine, Moore, Boyce. Still rolling around here. Oh, Klimowicz, he's got the wing off. He goes around. Trying to straighten him up. I don't know what's happening. JK3 comes around 5th. Vecchio 6th, and Seidel coming home P7. Boy, oh boy, stick around on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season. Thank you to our
Just about 30 seconds away from taking a look at tonight's Full Throttle Motorsports Rebel Sprint Car starting lineup, where 14 drivers get set to go play here at the Lanier National Speedway. Top 5 get to go run Renegades. Let's see who those 5 drivers are gonna be. Row 7 to the outside, rounding out the field, the 26 of Maverick Seidel to the inside, the 28 of Chris Lloyd. Row 6 to the top shelf, the 147 of Michael Vecchio to the inside, the 62 of Aaron Huffing. Row 5 to the outside, the 69 of JK3, John Klimowicz III to the inside, the 8 of Scott Thomason. Row 4 to the tippy top, the 41 of the librarian Pat Boyce to the inside, the 034 of JKJ, John Klimowicz Jr. Row 3 to the outside, the 55 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. to the inside, the 49 of Jesse Bandy. Row 2 to the outside, the 89 of Mason Hine to the inside, the 75 of Steven Bixler. Row 1 for your FTM. Rebel Sprint Car, A Main to the outside, the 78 of Jack Clevenger, and starting on the pole, the 88 of Dan McLaren. Here we go. 30 laps here. It was a heck of a show with our 358 modifieds, and I expect that to continue. Not a lot of cars. Now I'm probably getting ahead of myself here, but I would expect there are going to be some different paced drivers here. We should see some green flag racing, and lots of it as the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. You look at the Georgia sky. The green flag is high. Let's watch the dirt fly. Your A-Main is underway. Soupy on the slip and slide through 1 and 2. Jack Clevenger to the early lead. Here comes the mayor, Steve Bixler, on the inside, looking for some votes, and I think he may have found some. But boy, oh boy, Mason Hine looking to steal the ballot. On the outside, here he comes. Bottom step of the podium to the 89. Bandy on the inside trying to work the low line. Jesse up to 4th, gets around the mare. Can't inch any closer, though, to the 89 of Mason Hine. 2 by 2 by 2 here towards the back of the pack. You're watching Brian Moore Sr. and Scott Thomason run side by side. Now John trying to make it 3 wide. No, gets on the binders. Junior racing smart here, but goes up, feeds more right rear. Big contact. And no caution flag waves yet. For some reason, now we do get a caution flag and hold the brakes. Uh-oh, doesn't want to turn there for Brian Moore. Broken right front. He's not going to be able to turn that thing anywhere. He's not going to be able to get it down to pit road. That's a tough break. Let's go up top. Steps out on him. Definitely a little bit of netcode involved there, and Moore gets on the binders to not get the outside wall, but then just gets slammed into. Nowhere for those guys to go, and just like that, 4 tore up race cars in an instant. Jack Clevenger, one of those guys, did not need the reset here in that 78 machine. He wanted this thing to undoubtedly stay green. Lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace car, though. We will be going back green this time by a couple cars. Still on pit road. Take a look to the sky. The green flag is high. Let's make some dirt fly. 25 laps left to play. Bandy with a good jump on the inside, flirting with P2 here. Can't do it. Bandy maybe not done. He's got some company, though. Mason Hine trying to work that inside right behind him. Bandy goes up, shuts the door. McLaren got to get on the binders, loses one more. Mason Hine goes around. McLaren racing super smart there in that 88 machine, getting on the binders when he needed to, living to race another day. And man, now he gets to go back to work on Bandy. I'm telling you, in the moment, it is not easy to use that left foot, man, and get on those brakes. But boy, oh boy, when you get this satisfaction out of it, it becomes a lot easier. Dan McLaren still hanging around, still looking tough in 4th. Hine working the inside. Oh, he's got Shaggy TV on there. Hey now, Mason Hine asked me for that logo. I didn't know it was going to be that big. Look at the size of that puppy. Going to be getting a lot more camera time on that 89. You're going to throw stuff like that on there. Hey now. single file basically throughout the field until we get up near that Shaggy TV machine, who's trying to hold off Dan McLaren. Dan on the inside. Thomason barrel down on the outside, absolutely rolling. Or excuse me, Hine, that's Thomason on the bottom. Dan not going away, relentless on that inside. Oh, so close to being able to complete the slide job, but can't do it yet. Now he does, shuts the door. Dan, oh, yellow flag waves. But was it after he was already across the line? I do believe so, but either way, let's see if we can find out what happened here. It's looking like Maverick Seidel may have been involved in this one. Oh, he is definitely involved in this one. Oh, heavily involved in that one. And it's gonna be the end of the night there for Seidel. That will be his second quick repair. You only get one quick repair. That would be his second need for one, and that is going to do it there for the 26, I would think. Is at the moment down to 9 cars on the lead lap. Good top 3, though, man. Really, top 5, for being honest. I mean, Thomason, Hine, McLaren, Bandy, Clevenger. It's what you'd expect coming in. These guys have showed up. Now, how hot does it get up here for the battle for the lead? Lights are off on that pace car. We go back green this time by. Pace car's off. The green flag is high. Let's watch some dirt fly. Great jump there from Clevenger, who is, I mean, he's in the parking lot. What a restart there on the outside. Gone half a second up the road. They continue to throw hammers here for second, third, and fourth. Here we go. McLaren leaves the lane open. Bandy, here he comes, headhunting on the high side. The 49, hammer down, got her pinned, let her eat up top, he says. He is hungry. Bandy making it work. McLaren making it work in the middle. Clevenger may have some company here before too long. 12 laps to go. McLaren continues to leave that outside open. Doesn't want to go up there and shut the door. Bandy loves the invitation to the outside. Mason Hine trying to work this bottom, that side-by-side going on in front of him. Breathes a little bit of life into that 89. Oh, Bandy! Oh! Was in the outside wall, came down the racetrack, and man, oh man. Mason Hine gonna pay the fine here, and he had nothing to do with it. Wrong place, wrong time for the 89. You can see Bandy's in the outside wall. He yanks the wheel down. You can see the wheel. It straightened it up, then yanked it down one more time. He's trying to cut it back up, but he's just so sideways. It's going to fishtail. They're going to make contact. And Mason goes around, no damage, but man, it is going to be tough to get back up into that top 5 and make the Renegades feature here with only a limited amount of laps left to go. Should have 9 to go, I think, when we get the green flag. I clicked the wrong camera. That is not the camera I thought it was. This is the camera I thought it was. Look at Bandy taking the UL. That is awesome. There are not many guys that mic up and ask for the UL mid-race, but if you do that, you know, I'm almost certain. No penalty for next week. That's the right way to handle that. And, not something Bandy meant to do, but something he did do and takes the blame for it. As the green flag waves, we are back underway. 9 laps left to play. Bixler and Klimowicz, your 4th and 5th drivers here. No company behind. Bad start for the librarian, Pat Boyce, who sees himself a ways back. Dan McLaren, now that he's got nobody really throwing hammers at him, can he go up here and battle with the 78 of Jack Clevenger? He is running out of laps, 7 to go. Clevenger and McLaren barrel down the outside through 1 and 2. This is where they differ. Dan finding that tacky patch through the middle of 3 and 4, and he reels him in. Little by little goes back to the middle through 1 and 2. I think that's where he wants to stay outside so he can get momentum up. But man, Soupy, there he goes. He agrees, goes back to the outside. And here we go. Now you send it in. You carry in all that steam. You got her purring. And we pull a little closer, 4 to go. Mason Hine gets himself back inside the top 5. What a job there by the 89. Bandy, will he be able to do the same? I don't know. Only 3 laps left to go. I don't think so. McLaren not close enough to Clevenger to make a send yet. 2 laps to go. I don't know if he is going to get close enough. Jack Clevenger on rails right now in this 78. Sees the white flag wave. 1 more lap to play. Jack Clevenger. Can he get the victory lane here at the Lanier National Speedway? Barrels down on the outside. Stays up top through 3 and 4. Doesn't defend. Doesn't need to. Clevenger wins at the Lanier National Speedway. McLaren, Hine, Thomason, and Klimowicz. Your top 3. What a run by Mason Hine to get back onto the bottom step of the podium. Here we go, Mason Hine. Let's find this before we pull him back up, or before we end up pulling him up and talking to him. But let's see. So he's in P5 right now as the white flag waves. Maybe he moves up to P4. But was battling for 5th, or for 4th, excuse me. Gets this run here. Now, how does he get into 3rd? I mean, you talk about hooking it up on the bottom, Thomason. That's how we saw him go around there in the still camera. Just gunned it, trying to hold off Hine, and ends up spinning around like a top. But boy, oh boy, what a job, what a run there by Mason Hine. He may be a fun one to talk to here. He's got the, oh man, no way, he's got the Racers Used Parts Warehouse on there too. I mean, that's the Dietrich family business. I wonder how. So many questions, and guess what? I'm gonna have time to ask him because here he is. We've got the 3rd place driver. Holy shit! What a run, Mason! I'm not supposed to say that, but dear God, man! I mean, Bandy, he took the OL. I know it doesn't make you feel better in the moment, but clearly he stepped on it. It was a mistake. He owned up to it. But, man, there's no chance you thought you were talking to me after that, was there?
No, not really. But I knew a lot of the guys weren't running the bottom there. And I started to figure out, with a little bit of throttle control, kind of getting some speed. And then I kind of took some middle, I kind of went to the middle a few times and I got around some guys. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just keep that in the back of my mind. But, I'm so fortunate there. I got into Scott at the end. I didn't go back and watch it yet.
Oh, not on you. Not on you at all.
I just had the pedal to the floor, man, and I was like, man, I just want to beat him to the line.
Yeah, no, not on you. You'll see that when you look at the replay. He saw you coming, and he gassed it up, and he comes down and gets into you. So that definitely not on you at all. You're down there in the tack where you need to be. And, that being said, there's no tack on the bottom when you enter turn 3 there. You're just sending in, hoping to make it sticks. Were you surprised when he left you that lane? I mean, it wasn't much. It was literally one lane, but man, you got there.
Yeah, honestly, I was just waiting to see if he was going to go low. I was going to try the middle and try to go around him on the outside and just kind of send it. But luckily, he went towards the middle, so I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to throw it in there and straighten it out here and see if I can just beat him to the line. And luckily, I did that.
Well, first off, too, Mason, or second off, I guess, after we're done these questions, I know you asked me for the logo, but dang, I didn't know you were going to put it on that big. I have that, brother, which brings me to my other logo question. RUPW, you work there? You just a Dietrich fan? What's that about?
And most people don't like Danny, but I like Danny. I just like the way he talks his mind. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, I like the Dietrichs, and I just like throwing these random local sponsors from my hometown on there. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, for sure. I when I was a teenager, I grew up racing at Trailway Speedway when the Dietrichs ran three 58 sprint cars there, and I would take a 4-wheeler, so I would get him for free, and I would always push one of those brothers. They were my favorite drivers, and I still root for him. I actually helped build Danny's house here in Gettysburg, PA, years ago. So I was just wondering if you knew the guys. That's not many people know what RUPW is, unless you're from around here.
Yeah, no, yeah. My dad and I like Billy because we like following his YouTube channel, and he just good dude. So me and him started liking him, and then why not like his brother? His brother's pretty good, and he's a jerk sometimes, which I like.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when I was a teenager, if there was only old Trailway footage when the dad used to kick both their asses, that was a lot of fun. When Dan used to win, it was awesome watching those guys race. But hey, congratulations, Mason. You're in the show.
Thanks.
You got anybody you want to thank before you go?
Yeah, I just want to thank you and all the sponsors that put on this stuff, and then Justified Motorsports, and that's about it. Grand Slam Graphics, and that's it.
Well, hey, hell of a run, man. Good luck in the Renegades.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks.
Mason Hine bringing home P3. Now we're going to bring up the man who brought home P2, and it seemed like there for a while, I don't know what it was, Dan. I thought whenever Lacey had that trouble, I thought that was going to be the clear enough for you to go. It seemed like you and Lacey, though, were almost making each other faster. Man, having that pressure on the outside was making you go a little quicker on the bottom. But, man, at the end, P2, that's still a great run. How are we feeling?
Oh, yeah. So P2's still good. Tried a couple different lines to try and catch Jack, but 3 and 4 felt good. 1 and 2, I was, trying to match his line up top, but just couldn't make it stick. But no, all in all, that was a good run.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear you say that because I felt the same way. That's what I said over the broadcast. But it almost seemed like you needed to try to match that in 1 and 2 because I think you were by far the quicker car there in 3 and 4, running that middle where there was a little bit of tack. But what did it feel like in the car, Dan? It just didn't seem like it was there in 1 and 2 like it was in 3 and 4.
No, it was like apples and oranges from 1 and 2 to 3 and 4. 1 and 2 felt like loose, and then 3 and 4 just, had a lot more bite. But yeah, that was still fun. Look forward to the Renegades.
Yeah, man, me too, because I know they all work differently, but, man, you were running the middle, Jack up there on the outside, and then Mason running the bottom. There were 3 lines there at the end. It was a lot of fun to watch, and you put on a hell of a show, man. Congrats on the P2. Who you want to thank?
All you guys, behind the scenes doing these broadcasts, everyone doing the league for Coast to Coast to run every night this week. JRB Designs for cool wrap. Born to Foam Insulation, warm me up 1 inch at a time. Can't forget that. Marquee Manufacturing, and everyone, all the fellows over at Venom.
Well, hey, hell of a job, Dan. Good luck in the Renegades, brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Dan McLaren brings home P2, and now we bring up the belle of the ball here, the 078, who took the lead right away, man. Never looked back, and I was worried for you. With that last caution, it seemed like, they were starting to reel you in before it came, but I don't know what it was, man. It breathed some life into this 078, and you were lights out. No mistakes there at the end. Laser quick. How do we feel?
Pretty good. I love Lanier, man. I've always loved this track, and just sometimes you just need to get out front and try and get away.
Yeah, and that being said, do you think, I mean, obviously, this isn't a slight at you, but that strategy of, getting out front, I mean, how much easier does that, does it make when you go out there, win your heat race by, I think, 2 seconds? I mean, you put on quite the show in that heat race.
Well, I mean, it's good but then you're like, shit, am I running the right spot? Where do I need to be? Like they always say, seconds, sometimes it's better just to know where to be. But I didn't see anybody. I mean, I heard somebody there at the end. I think it was Dan in 3 and 4, but I didn't see anybody, so I was just going to keep doing what I was doing.
Yeah, that being said, you don't have the advantage of me, being there in TV4, getting to look at everything. And at the end of the race, I mean, you were committed to that outside, but man, we had 3 lanes. We had a guy charge up to get to the bottom step of the podium there on the bottom. I mean, Dan was kind of working the inside or the middle there through 3 and 4, as you said you heard. But 1 and 2, it seemed like you had to be on that outside. And I know you stayed up there that whole time, but could you just tell by the look of the track that, hey, 1 and 2, maybe 3 and 4, there's some questions, but 1 and 2, this is where I have to be?
Yeah, I mean, I always look for the grip, and there's always grip off of 2, always grip off of 3, 4 up top, and I just find you can put your right rear in it and really get some good drive. I mean, you can run the bottom. It's just got to be real patient to try and keep it in the grip, and sometimes it's easier just to carry your momentum around the top.
And you showed that, man. Great run. You win the FTM Rebel Sprint Car A main here. Are we going to get to see you in the Renegades? You going to come out and play again?
Yeah, I'm registered, so I'm going to run it. Like I said, I love linear, so I'll give it a whirl.
Well, hell of a job, Jack. I'll let you give your thanks, and then we'll let you go get some practice, man. Who you want to thank?
Thank you for the broadcast, and Coast to Coast for the place to race, and Brian for being there to talk to tonight in my group. And yeah, thanks again, Zach.
Oh, wait, Jack, I do want to ask you one thing before I kick you out of here. Sorry. Do we have any plans? Now, it's new news. You may not have known this. We're trying to entice a little more. But it's going to be a $100 total payout for that women's race. Do we have any, daughters, a wife, a girlfriend, anything that we might throw at this?
Man, you think I'm rough sometimes. I don't know how you'd feel about them racing.
You say wait till you see my wife out here, brother.
Well, I run VR, so they're not big on it. I guess I could set them up on my screen, but I don't know. We'll chat with the kid and see what she thinks.
Well, hey, man, definitely invited. We'd love to have more, but hell of a win, Jack. Hopefully I'm talking to you again later.
Thank you, sir.
As I almost choke again, got to the mute in time, Jack Clevenger pulls into victory lane, and we wrap it up here. We kick it to break, and we come back. We'll have your JRB Designs Renegade Sprint Cars up next. Stick around on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so
let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized.
Maybe my logo will pop back in the overlay. Maybe it won't, but we are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network with your JRB Designs Renegade Sprint cars here at the Lanier National Speedway. Not a lot of guys on the docket here. Not a lot at all. Only 17 in the session. 13 that put in lap times. So we'll have to see if we get any more to come out and play. We got Gary. What's going on, Gary? You're going to have to get on your nephew, brother. I have to make sure Mrs. Spangler is in this powder puff race we're doing. You know, you may not know anything about it, but we're running a race for the ladies here. I believe the second week in March. It is week 13 for iRacing. Maybe the first week in March, but I think it's March 9th. For some reason, I have that set in my head. Actually, let me check. Actually, no, I can't check. We're about to go qualifying. Here, let me put the camera on tab. And then maybe I pull up the calendar on the bottom of the screen. And we see that March 9th is indeed a Monday, so I was indeed correct. My intuitions. It's going to be Monday, March 9th. As Anthony Morano rolls around. I clicked off Ted York. Shame on me. He's going to put in the first lap. What am I doing? Zoning out. Sorry, Teddy Bear. You know the rules. Now you get lap number 2. I want to mess up. As the Pink Panther, purple. He was quick time. 11:87. Ted York comes around. Final time doesn't improve. Still P3. Isaac Salas comes across P6 now. As Patrick, the high side banger in the 39, got it working. Let's see what he does here. Patrick Spangler. Did he get quicker the last time around? Nope, doesn't need to. Already quick in that 39 machine. Did I see something on that wing? Don't you stop, Patrick. Oh, he's going to stop. You dirty dog. Let's see who's still out there. John Short comes across the line here for the final time. P5. I don't... Maybe this is a lap here, but I think this is just an extra. It's telling me this would be lap 3. Klimowicz the third. He's moping around on the inside. Not going to put a lap in. Bob the Good not qualifying. And yeah, John Short, he's just putting down laps, just practicing out here. Oh, okay, all right. So you're Gary. One of these days, I'm telling you. I mean, you know, you're in Pennsylvania, I believe. You know, I mean, they gave me a medical card. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? I mean, you know, the memory ain't the best, but we give it our best as we take a look at row 3 for heat race number 1, first of 3 heat races. To the outside, the 8 of Scott Thomason. To the inside, the 69 of JK3, John Klimowicz III. Row 2, to the outside, your quick time. The 39 of the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. To the inside, the 99 of Gavin Chatham. And row 1, for heat race number 1, to the outside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. And starting on the pole, the 5 of Salsa, Slide Job, Isaac Salas. Now, Gary, I don't think I ever brought up this point, though, but this is where I was going with it. You know, when you told Mrs. Sarah Spangler about the race, you probably didn't tell her, hey, you know, you go out there, you show those girls how competitive you are, you win that thing, you're going to make $50 for the Spangler family, courtesy of Shaggy TV and Top Notch Trucking. We're going to have $100 prize pool, 50 for the winner, 30 for second, 20 for third. And who knows if other boys, you know, other guys in here decide to liven it up a little bit. I mean, geez, let's get this thing up as high as we can. I think Uncle Ron said something about throwing some more money into it, so that might raise it a little bit. Who knows? We're going to have a lot of fun with this thing. As you take a look to the Georgia sky, the green flag is high. Let's watch the dirt fly. Heat race number 1 is underway. Patrick right away up there in the chocolate chips, trying not to get dirty. Gavin runs the Barker up the racetrack a little bit. Slowed him down enough that Patrick's going to get a 2-for-1 here. Gavin on the outside trying to burn it down, but the high side banger, welcome to P2, as Isaac Salas continues to lead the way. Gavin up there working that outside, doing the Lord's work here. Nobody wants to put that line in on the outside this early, but Gavin is willing to. On the inside, side by side, Patrick maybe had it at the line, but he's going to get it this time out of 2. Salas takes a peek, back downstairs on the bottom. Slide job, Patrick cuts back underneath. New leader at the line, give it to the 39. Spangler to the point. And yeah, Gary, did she do it years ago when Coast to Coast ran them in sprint cars? Because at least they're not going to be in sprint cars this year. But I'll tell you what, my wife did it, and she took out some people, I believe. As we're coming to 1 to go this time by, Patrick Spangler sees the white flag wave. He is going to bring home heat race number 1, barring some big problems, as he drives it into 3 for the final time. He takes a look up at the sky. The checkered flag is going to fly. He wins heat race number 1. Salas, Chatham, Thomason, Klimowicz, and Barker. Yeah, because I actually believe my wife dumped Preston Cramner's wife. She felt terrible about it. But either way, she did it. Sorry those are coming up blank. I'm not used to having to click on a driver before I bring up a starting grid. I think that's really annoying, so hopefully SDK changes that. Row 3 for heat race number 2. To the outside, the 7 of Bob to Good. To the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 2 to the outside, the 10 of Ross Corinna. To the inside, the 51 of John Short. And row 1 for heat race number 2. To the outside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. And starting on the pole, the 217 of the gentleman, Jack Hitt. They're going to run 358 modifieds, Gary. So, I mean, they won't have the fender on the right front, but you can at least, you know, I mean, bump in those a little bit to the point where, I mean, unless, you know, really driving through them, it's a little harder to wreck somebody. I mean, don't get me wrong. We watch each other. We watch our boys wreck each other in them all the time. But I try to highlight, and in a lot of my wrecks as well, a lot of impatience is normally involved from one of the drivers. Most of the time it's me, if I'm being honest with you. People know by now, I think, that I can have the hot head out there. But either way, yeah, I mean, it's all about fun. I'm gonna broadcast it. So my wife will be out at my dad's house because she won't be able to use my wheel and my computer because I'll be broadcasting. But my dad, he's got the good stuff anyway. I've got don't get me wrong, I got a Moza, I love mine. We both have the Fanatec V3 pedals, but my dad has the nice $1,200 DD2 bass. I love that thing. As you take a look to the Georgia sky, the green flag is high. Let's watch the dirt fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Dino got a good jump on the outside jacket. Trying to work this inside, and he's leaving the door open for John Short, who's not able to get there. Shorty's got some company. He's got the boss. Oh! Oh! Shorty gets into the gentleman jacket. They go around. No caution flag a wave in the E-race. We continue. But Brandon Dittmer takes big advantage of that contact. Was up 3 spots, now 2. Fighting back and forth here with the boss. Only 3 guys left on your racetrack. You can see all 3 of them sometimes. And I say sometimes because Dino is so far out front. Boy, oh boy, the 79 going to be loving every second of this. And right now, we shouldn't see anybody close enough to throw a slide job on him. Dittmer to the outside, the boss hunting on the bottom here. He throws a slide job, comes up across. 2 laps to go as 2-stick show here at the Lanier Speedway. Dittmer gets a good run through 1 and 2, goes up, shuts the door, and Ross gonna have to give it all he can if he wants to run down Dittmer as the white flag waves. But boy, oh boy, Dean Reynolds showed up here tonight. 1 second out front. Dominates heat race number 2, and the 79 wins. Dittmer P2, Corinna hit short and to good, rounds out the field. Starting grid for your 3rd and final heat race here for your JRB Designs Renegade Sprint Cars. To the inside of row 3, the 32 of Anthony Morano. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 127 of the Pink Panther. Jesse Atkinson to the inside, the 078 of Jack Clevenger. Row 1 for heat race number 3 to the outside. Give him a squeeze in the 09. You got the teddy bear, Ted York, in starting on the pole. The 88 of Soupy, Dan McLaren. Oh boy, you should have seen me Saturday night. Came down to, I want to say, the final 10 laps. And I had hiccups for 8 of those laps, and during that long mute there, it was because I don't know what it is about when I get in this chair, but boy, oh boy, the hiccups, they come out, they want to come play. So we'll hope I can keep quiet enough here for heat race number 3 as we look to the Georgia sky. The green flag is high. Let's watch the dirt fly. Heat race number 3 is underway. Great jump there by Dan McLaren, who, remember, won his heat race there in your Rebel sprint cars and had that man in the 78 finish in front of him, though, in the feature. I mean, we got 2 Rebels drivers here running 1-2. Jesse Atkinson, though, not done swinging the hammer here. He throws a slide job. Crisscross applesauce. Jack Clevenger couldn't do it here. He's got the Ant-Man down underneath him. Doesn't want to ruin any points runs for those guys. You could tell by the way he went high and wide there. Meanwhile, Anthony Morano up to P2. Let's see how far he can go here. Started 5th, up to 2nd, 4 to go. Anthony looking on the bottom on the slip and slide, though, there through the center of 1 and 2. The Pink Panther on the outside. Jesse Atkinson not able to claw his way into P2. The Teddy Bear. Just so soft on that inside on the throttle, and Teddy shuts the door there, slides up. Holds on to P3 here, 2 laps to go. McLaren walks the outside there off the exit of 2. Does the same thing off the exit of 4, and he's got 1 lap to go between him and a P3 starting spot in tonight's A main. Final time through turns 3 and 4. Dan McLaren looks to the sky, checkered flag waves. He wins heat race number 3, followed by Morano, York, Atkinson, and Clevenger. Stick around here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season. Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 20...
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we are just about 30 seconds away from taking a look at tonight's JRB Design Renegade Sprint Car A-Main here at the Lanier National Speedway. Smaller field tonight, but it should mean for great racing here in Georgia as we get set to take a look. 17 drivers make the call. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Rounding out the field, the 7 of Bob DeGood, row 8 to the outside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker to the inside, the 078 of Jack Clevenger. Row 7 to the outside, the 51 of John Short to the inside, the 69 of JK3, John Clemens III. Row 6 to the outside, the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson to the inside, the 217 of the Gentleman, Jack Hitt. Row 5 to the outside, the 8 of Scott Thomason to the inside, the 09 of the Teddy Bear, Ted York. Row 4 to the tippy top in the 10, we've got the boss, Ross Corinna to the inside, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Shadow. Row 3 to the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. To the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 2 to the outside, the 5 of Salsa, Slide Job, Isaac Salas. To the inside, the 88 of Soupy, Dan McLaren. And row 1 for your JRB Renegade Sprint Car, A Main to the outside, the 79 of Dino, Dean Reynolds, and starting on the pole, the 39 of the High Side Banger, Patrick Spangler. As the Steve King Foundation pace car rolls off of 4 down pit road, we look to the Georgia sky. The green flag is high. Let's make some dirt fly. 35 laps to play. RA Main is underway. Good run there by Patrick Spangler. Off to the early lead. Isaac Salas gets shuffled out on the outside. Oh, we've got some contact. Ted York goes up and over, I believe. He's on the lid. He toes. Caution flag doesn't wave. We continue. Soupy on the outside. Here comes Dino. Dean Reynolds on the outside, going to walk the line. He goes around Dan McLaren as well, and he's maybe trying to get a little more. Can the 79 get his first ever Renegade Sprint Car A-Main win? We'll have to find out. He's got some work to do. Anthony Morano, he's got the boss behind him. Brandon Dittmer in front of him. Boy, oh boy, not where you want to be. What a sandwich to be stuffed in. Dan McLaren continues to work the inside. This is your battle for second here. Dan not able to get the run he needs off at 2, but finds a little bit more here through 3 and 4. Just not enough as Dino holds on. Gavin Chatham on the outside, 3 wide. Isaac Salas backs out of that thing. Didn't want any parts of that. Gavin on the outside, burning it down, only up 1 spot, but continuing where he left off in the heat race, right up against the concrete. Patrick Spangler out front. He is, that's a long ways out front. 1 second already, but those boys battling hard behind, allowing him to get there. Dino finally has a little bit of breathing room, but for how long? Because I think him and Dan McLaren maybe gonna have some company here soon. Here comes Ross Corinna and Gavin Chatham. Ross pedal to the metal on the outside, working that top side, trying to build up a big cushion up against that concrete. But there, sadly, is not much of one right now. He is flirting with a thin line, not where you want to be, and neither is this bottom 3 wide Jesse Atkinson. He can't get it done. Scott Thomason continues to go to work, trying to get by Salas, who just absolutely lit the fuse on that rocket coming off at 2. Dean Reynolds hunkering down here, trying to hold off the 88, who goes for a big send. Dan McLaren up to P2, moves Soupy up the mountain here. Dan doing a good job of running that inside, just keeping the right rear fresh here. Or rear tires, I should say, not sliding them across that dirt. may come back into his favor here in the closing laps as Ross Corinna tries to put himself on the podium. Dino got a little loose there through the center of two, opens up this door, slide job from the boss. Dino back down, trying to deliver the mail. Slide job from the 79, the boss up and over. Here we go, back under. Move Ross into P3. You were Dino, you were only going to be able to fight that for so long. When the boss gets up beside you, you know your time is limited, but he is continuing to try to go to work. Look at Dino. Haven't talked about this guy in a while, but the high side banger doing just that. Banging down the outside, the 39. Look at him back on form here at Lanier. I mean, this is unbelievable. He is absolutely on rails. Gavin Chatham inches closer to his teammate in that 79, who leaves him just a sliver. Gavin not able to get there. Not yet. Chatham, what do you do here? You go to the bottom, you throw the slide job. You float it up the racetrack. Dino tries to come back underneath you. He does. Keeps it on the inside, though. Likes the grip down there on the front stretch. He beats him back to the line. Gavin, though, up top making the money here off the two. Here we go. Gavin Chatham move the 99 up inside the top four. Corinna and McLaren reeling in Patrick Spangler here a little bit. They've cut the gap down to 1.5. Patrick committed to beating down that wall. Gotta be thinning out upstairs. Dan on the inside, the boss trying to come on the outside. Here we go, Corinna shows him the nose on corner entry. McLaren floats up, shuts the door. Corinna down on the bottom, slide job, comes up the racetrack, grabs the cushion, move the boss into P2. Up 6 spots is Ross Corinna. Started P8 and here he goes. Does he have enough time to go hunting for the 39? I don't know. Are we going to get a white flag? Car slows on the front stretch. We get a tow, no yellow flag. Thank God. Do not want a yellow to come out that way. No way, no how. As Gavin Chatham sees third place become a real possibility here. 5.5 to go, I should say, for the 99. He is reeling in Dan McLaren. Dan just a half a lane lower there than the 99 on corner entry. But you can see it helps the 99 gain 2 car lengths through the center of the corner. Gavin Chatham peeks to the inside. Soupy protects, closes the door. Gavin got to stay downstairs. Once again, side by side, Chatham trying to do all that he can do. Inches close, but can't get by. McLaren holds on. Yellow flag waves. Jack Clevenger goes around, and we are going to have a green-white checkered. When we get the green flag, hold on. Jack just gets in the outside wall. We saw the same thing happen to another driver there in the Rebel Sprint cars. You just bounce that right front up towards the opening, and man, it'll hook you. It'll send you around. And now just like that, we get to re-rack and restack here. Patrick Spangler out front, Ross Corinna in P2, and Dan McLaren rounding out the final podium spot. Will it change? Boy, oh boy, it is down here to the witching hour. We're going to have 2 to go. lights are off, so we'll go back green this time. Field's still pretty spread out. That's why I wasn't sure if the lights were really off. You can see they're gapped up there. I mean, those are some big gaps. The green flag is high. Let's watch the dirt fly. 2 laps to play. We're back underway. Corinna on the outside, able to fight off Dan McLaren, who's going to war on the bottom, but the white flag waves for the man out front. Patrick Spengler, who's got one more trip around here in Georgia. Can he hold on? Goes to the outside, should have enough. Final time, through 3 and 4. Soupy goes to the bottom. Stays down there, and it's Spengler who wins at the Lanier National Speedway. Corinna P2 and McLaren rounds out the podium. What a good night in the sprint cars there for Dan McLaren. Back-to-back podiums coming out of the Rebels. That's a great run for him. Now we're going to take a look here at the final. Chatham, Reynolds, your top 5. Murano, Dittmer, Atkinson, Salas, and Barker, your top 10. And the rest of your field: Short, Hitt, Clevenger, Thomason, Klimowicz the third, York, and DeGood rounds out the field. So let's see. We don't want to watch the final 2 laps over and over again. So we had 33 laps green flag, or 32 and a half, I should say. Let's go find them. Maybe we can get rid of that graphic and we can pull up the graphic we are looking for. Long time no speak since we had this next driver up here. Let's see if he's around. Dan, it seems like we just did this, brother. I mean, what a run. It's one thing, obviously, we all say, man, to do it in the Rebels, but then to come out here and, let's be honest, back the shit up here, go out here and run top 3 again. How we feeling, dude? You got to feel good.
Oh, yeah. Finishing top 3 in Renegades, especially to Patrick and Russ, I'll take it, man. But no, Isaac, he helped me out huge with the setup tonight, and it actually felt better in this race than it did the last one. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm when we're rolling through there, that only caution we had, I couldn't tell if it was gonna help or hurt you. And I'm going to be honest, my initial thought was, hey, it may hurt him. It's going to put Gavin behind him. But if anything, geez, dude, we found some speed in this thing once again. That's exactly what I said to you in the Rebels. You get racing with somebody, man, and I don't know what it is. You're going to find grip out there. And you showed it. You made Ross work for P2. Did you think you were maybe going to get that thing? It was close.
Yeah, it was close. If that caution didn't come out, I think Gavin would have got me. So I was thankful for that. And then even the racing with Dean at the beginning, that was a lot of fun. And yeah, it's can't feel grip. You gotta search for it and find it.
No, and do you think you were, I think, looking back, there were some other guys who kind of would run the middle, but then they'd get up to the outside. You were pretty much committed to that middle bottom the whole time. Do you think that gave you the extra grip there on that final restart to try to go to work one more time?
I don't know. It's hard to tell because I didn't even try to. Well, I ran maybe 2 or 3 laps at the top, but it didn't feel the greatest. I wasn't too comfortable up there, so I just said back down to the middle or bottom to finish the rest of the race. But yeah, that was a good run.
Yeah, man, I'd say so. Back-to-back podiums here to close out the night. Hell of a job, Danny. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, you for the broadcast, brother. Everyone behind the scenes for the league, and everyone over at Venom Racing, Born to Foam, Marquee Manufacturing, and JRB Designs. Man, he makes some cool looking race cars. So glad to get this on the podium for him.
And I was kicking myself when I let you go, and here, damn it, I almost did it again. Dan, I don't know much about, I don't dive into many people's personal lives, but, are we married? Do we have a daughter? Do we have a girlfriend? Do we have any plan to throw a female in this seat on March 9th?
Negative, brother. I'm playing it smart and staying single.
Fair enough. That's the smart move. That is the smart move. But, hey, hell of a job, Dan. Can't wait to have you back, brother.
All right, man. Cheers.
Dan McLaren brings home P3, and now we're going to bring up the boss, Ross Corinna, who, man, I thought, if anything, that final restart, would help you. Maybe you'd get to go to work on Patrick a little bit, but boy, Dan really threw it down on the bottom, and he had you sweating there towards the end. But at the end of the day, up 6 spots, P2, got to be feeling good.
Yeah, we'll take that. Wish the heat race would have went a little better. Could have started up closer to the front there a little. But no, a yellow flag maybe 7 laps earlier would have helped a little bit more. But I mean, obviously Patrick is one of the top guys in here, so to run second to him is nothing to hang your head on. And yeah. Luckily, I was able to squeeze it by McLaren there at the end. I saw him come off the bottom, and I'm like, oh, geez, I don't know if I'll make it. And just gunned her down and kind of like Days of Thunder through the smoke and just let her go. And luckily, I was able to beat him to the line.
You mentioned Patrick being out front, and that's a whole lot different than a guy like me being out front, Ross, where, you're maybe licking your lips. You think, hey, I can get this guy. When you've got Patrick in front of you, not that you want to write yourself off, but, the leader gets that jump with the 2-lap shootout. Do you kind of know, hey, I'm just trying to hold on to P2 here?
Yeah, I knew I was either going to have to try something drastic or basically just, take the second place. I mean, unless he totally falls on his face and makes a huge mistake, which, I mean, everybody in here knows that Patrick's not going to do that. It'd be one in a million chances that he's going to make a mistake like that, especially with 2 laps to go. But I thought about running the slider or bottom just to see if I can find something down there. I know Dan was kind of, for a while, he was keeping pace with my time. I don't know. I'm assuming I was a little bit faster, and he just slipped up there, and I was able to get around him. But thought about trying the bottom. I know the car was kind of set up for the top, so I just kind of thought if I go to the bottom and screw up, I might lose myself some spots. So kind of just said I'll follow Patrick around and hope he makes a mistake, which he didn't.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like you said, those are few and far between out of that, man. But to bring home a P2 after having a not so good starting spot here at Lanier, it's all about pretty much where you start. You're able to prove it a little bit wrong, get up to that middle step. Hell of a job there, Ross. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Phantom Motorsports guys, Velocity Race Design. I'm not even sure. You up in the booth for putting on the show, and everybody at Coast to Coast behind the scenes keeping the league going.
Well, hey, Ross.
And one more.
Oh,
Just
yeah, no,
Racing
go
Boys
ahead.
Design, I suppose. Just Racing Boys Design for the title sponsor for Renegades.
Yeah, they're the most important one. But hey, Ross, I got one more question for you here. So I know you've got a boy that go-kart races, but do we have a daughter, or do we plan to throw the old lady on this thing March 9th? Because I'm just saying now, hey, I'm trying to bait more people.
Well,
me and Isaac throwing some money into the pot. Okay, so $50 to the winner, 30 for second, 20 for third, and we may even raise that up a little bit here.
Yeah. What day is it?
March 9th. It's a Monday. It's week 13. It's when we have off. I'm going to broadcast. My wife's going to go race at my dad's house. So she'll even be on there.
Yeah, I mean, I could ask the boss if she wants to race it. Otherwise, I do have 2 daughters, a 16 and a 10-year-old that maybe be interested. I can't tell you if they'll make it around the track, I guess, but
it's 358 modifieds. Yeah, it's all for fun. It's all for fun. We're just coast to coast family members, so it should all just be fun.
Just have to check the schedule, make sure we don't have any basketball or volleyball going on, but for the kids. But yeah, that'd be fun for them to try it out.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, hey, hopefully we can make that happen. But hey, great run, Ross, and I can't wait to talk again, brother.
Thank you.
Now we get to talk to the man of the hour here. I mean, sheer dominance. Were you worried at all when the caution flag flew, or did you know, hey, 2 laps to go, advantage leader, I should be okay?
I know with like 10 laps to go, I looked down and saw Ross was third, and I was like, man, I'm pretty sure he got in a wreck in his heat race. I wasn't sure where he started, but I knew he was moving. And I knew I didn't come off the top the entire race, so I figured my tires were shot. So I was like, man, it's going to be a handful. It was a handful. And I think another lap, McLaren may even get that middle working because he pulled up alongside me. I got a little nervous out of 4, but I hit that tackiness and gave me enough momentum out of 4 to get it to the line. But yeah, it was a handful there at the end.
Yeah, now you know what they say, man. Hindsight's 20/20. But if we go back and do that restart again, do we duck to the inside, seeing how fast that was, just that opening lap, to kind of protect and then go to the outside? Or you still think, you ended up getting the checkered flag. Of course you did the right thing, but would you do it over again?
I haven't touched that bottom in 33 laps, and I swapped setups at with a minute left in warmups because I was trying new setups out in the qualifying heat race, and they were lightning quick. I did not expect that heat race to go how it did. And then I took it out. I took out the feature setup, and it was not very good. So swapped into what I ran last season. So I only got to run a couple laps on the top, and I ran 33 laps on the top. So never tried on the bottom, and wasn't going to chance it there with 2 to go.
Well, not a lot of cars in here. So when you look at did you watch the Rebels race at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. I was wondering. Because I didn't really see many guys flirt with it, but in the Rebels race, it seemed like now when you were out there driving, I'm even looking now on the TV or on the screen. We didn't really have that line attack through the middle of 3 and 4 like we had in that Rebels race, did we? It looked pretty much all gone.
Yeah, it looked gone. And when it gets like super thin up top and it's all slick top to bottom, like that middle will start coming in just with the momentum you can carry, which I think is what Dan was getting at right there. But just with me not having to try it and having one of the best right behind me with Ross and Dan, that has been a tough one to try and then get beat around the top.
Now, before I let you do your thank yous, and let you get on out of here, Gary said, now, his daughter-in-law, she can be quite competitive, okay? But, hey, Patrick, put money on the line now. I don't know if you heard the news, okay? There's going to be money on the line. Are we going to talk Mrs. Spangler into running the 358 modifieds on March 9th?
I'm trying. If I can't get her, maybe I'll get my daughter to run. She's 7, so we'll see which one can run.
Hell yeah!
I know Sarah raced last time. She raced in one of these before, and I don't know whose mom she was yelling at.
I think Allie took her and Preston Cramner's wife out, if I believe. Yeah, I think it was them at the same time.
It's a good thing that it's a press talk because she would have been fined and probably suspended by Roger for at least 3 weeks. So, yeah, she gets very competitive. The fact that she won't even play me in Mario Kart, she only play the kids because she'll beat them. But yeah, we'll see if we can get her behind the wheel here.
Well, hey, hell of a job tonight, man. You were a wheel man, just barreled down on the outside, burning down the concrete. Great job, man. Who you want to thank on the win?
Just you for the awesome broadcast, everything you do for iRacing as whole and for this league. Dean, Jeff, and Jack for running the league. Velocity Race Designs with Ross. Have hopefully get a new wrap here soon. Just talked to him yesterday. And just everybody that came out tonight to run the Renegades, one caution, 35 laps is dream come true. It's just a fun race that way. Yeah.
Well, hey, hell of a job, brother. Hopefully we can keep the momentum up the rest of the way. Good luck, Patrick.
Thanks.
The high side banger brings home the checkered flag here tonight. And with that, we bring it to a close with the 39. And where else? Where else would he end other than in the JRB Designs victory lane here? This has been his league, it seems like. Well, him and Ross going back and forth now with Blake on the college hiatus. But that's another one. If Blake is still watching, maybe we can get Mama Chapman down there March 9th. Maybe you're home for spring break. I don't know. But what I do know is we're wrapping it up, calling it quits. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV saying so long and have a good evening.